Hi, this is how it happened. And if you have been watching our previous videos, we have been taking time to answer some questions regarding the Google use of Google Sheet. And now we're going to be looking at the worksheet 2. And in this worksheet 2 is just a video about pivot tables, using pivot tables. So what does pivot table does? I think pivot table in general sense is more or less like a table that actually helps you to be able to analyze data, like do some manipulations with data. Now in this case, we have this data and we have instruction here. I will be limiting this video to the instruction that are within this data here. If you have any special question, you can drop it in the comment section, and I'll be glad to grant answers to that. So now in this case, we are to build a pivot table, and a simple way to do a pivot table is that you will notice that in the insert tab there is a pivot table there. You understand? There is a pivot table in the insert tab. So if you want to do anything like that, you click on the pivot table. Now in at this junction, what this is asking you to do is to select your table range, your data range. So you just select this range, select the range of data you see selected here, and you can decide where you want the pivot table to be placed. You understand? The pivot table or yes, the pivot table report. That is just another thing entirely. You can decide where to be placed. So but in this case, let us make it work here. So click OK. Oh, sorry for that. Let's have our pivot table. So the pivot table, you can find the pivot table at the insert tab. So and you'll see the pivot table here. It will ask you to select range, which you're supposed to come here, highlight the range of data you want to use, and choose where you want the pivot table report to be. So the instruction wants us to put the pivot table report on this page, that is in the cell A3. So you come here, we ask where it said select location. So you come to your table here, you pick A3, then you click OK. So you have your pivot table here. That means we've done the first instruction, which is build onto pivot table in cell A3. Second instruction is that display the pivot category and the potential category. So that is the first one that comes here is the row, second one is the column. So you come to this side, this is the project category, bring it to the row area. You can see that pivot table is responding there, and you can also look at the next one is the potential revenue. So potential revenue, you bring it to the value area. So anyone you bring to the value area is what their value will be showing. You understand? So the ones you bring to the row will just be the data display. The ones you bring to the area, to the value area will be where your value will be showing. So now look at it. So in this case, that means we can see for marketing and web bid, we have a total of 9197. Don't forget that. Look at here now. We have marketing and web bid here. We have it here. We have it here. So it takes those data and help us sum it. Do you understand? So for marketing and web bid, that's what we have. If you mistakenly click here and the table goes, just come and click here back. You have your information back. So now they say we should now show the winning bid per project category. So we want to see the winning bid per project. You see here, you can set. You see this drop button. You can select anything you want to show. If you want only the marketing web, you click that. If you want only the marketing only, you want the web only. So those are choices you can choose. So in this case, the last question here is saying we should show the winning amount per project category. So you come here, you go to bid amount rather. Come here, pick your bid amount, because we need to see the value of the bid amount. That's why we are putting it on that value. Any data that you need to see the value, always put on that value. So the one that you just want to see ordinary the data, you put under project. So notice that there are other two sections here. We have the filter and also have the column. So if you want a data label, in this case now, you notice that data label for our column is sum potential revenue, sum of bid amount. So that's what we have there. That's why it automatically plays it here by itself, even when we don't put it. So the filter aspect is just, for instance, maybe you want to, this is not part of the question, I'm just adding it. You want to see number of people that actually won for marketing and web based on the criteria. So you can bring the one into this filter. So you can bring the one, you see, if you bring the one into this filter, what you are trying to say here is that, okay, in this case, you see, when you bring the one into the filter, you can still do some other manipulation. I wouldn't want to confuse you, but let's just focus on what we have there. You understand? You can say, okay, the person who is going to win the bid is the one that has the highest bid. So here now, look at it now. You notice that in this stuff here, we have bid amount. Abi, the bid amount is 103, 106, 51. So maybe you want to now say, okay, the winner for each category would be the person that has the highest money. So you can come here and say maximum. That's how you select your winner. You understand? So if you click OK now, you notice that when you come here and you say, okay, those that won, say OK, it will bring only the highest for each category. Do you understand? So, and if you choose those that lost, to bring the highest, because you have set it that you want the maximum for each category. So that's just the case there. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.